Triple Option has been on a roller coaster. Where will the ride land in 2018? Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, bringing you our schedule analysis. We're ranking all the schedules in college football, 70 all the way up to number 1. We stop at Georgia Tech, the 4th most difficult schedule in the ACC. It's number 16 in the nation. Georgia Tech basically wins 7 or 8 games most seasons under Paul Johnson, who's been there over a decade. Then in 2014, they broke through with a division championship and a win in the Orange Bowl and going 11-3. Then the next season from 11-3 to 3-9. Then from 3-9 to 9-4 and winning a bowl game over Kentucky 2 years ago. Then from 9-4 back down to 5-6. So is Georgia Tech ready for a rebound? The recent track record would speak to that. This is what they'll have to go through to try to reach postseason play and get back to 9 or 10 win status. Alcorn State's the opener, not difficult. At South Florida, so definitely a difficult secondary game in regards to non-conference schedule because, of course, Georgia Tech concludes the season by playing one of the best teams in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, on the road in Athens, November 24th, Georgia Tech at Georgia. So the second most difficult non-conference game is this South Florida game, that also being on the road, and this factors into the schedule strength and the schedule power here for Georgia Tech, having to play at South Florida and Georgia in its 2 most difficult non-conference games. The other non-conference games, Alcorn State, and they've got a date with Bowling Green at the end of September. All right, in ACC play, Georgia Tech plays in the marginal Coastal Division. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's one of the marginal divisions in college football. The likes of Miami at the top, with Virginia Tech near the top, and then, of course, at the bottom, North Carolina and Virginia. Georgia Tech in that middle group with the likes of Duke and Pitt and some of those other teams in the middle of the pack in the ACC Coastal Division. Okay, who do they have to play in the other division? Well, unfortunately for Georgia Tech, they always play Clemson. That is their designated rival out of the Atlantic Division, and Clemson is arguably the best team in the country. So Georgia Tech, one of the few teams that has to play 2 of the top 4 or 5 teams in the country in Clemson and Georgia. They do have Clemson at home on September 22nd. 2 weeks later, they play their other Atlantic Division foe in a top 30 to 35 team in Louisville. So that's the schedule. Clemson, Louisville out of division. And then the difficult games on the road against Georgia and South Florida out of conference. That is the Georgia Tech schedule. It's number 4 in the ACC. It's number 16 in college football. Please like, comment, and subscribe as we bring you the best in college football coverage with the best bloggers, broadcasters, and writers in the nation, plus analysis from myself right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football.